The Collegians of Old is presented by the Old Collegians Association of St Bernard's College, celebrating 75 years.
G'day Thomas.
Francis, how are you?
Good to see you again, mate. How you going?
Yeah, good yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Good to see you. Go in and have a chat.
Yeah, definitely.
That's all for White Line Fever. We'll catch you again on Monday. All the purple prose on that day about looking after the best interests of Australian sport, about this being a day when we need to draw a line under what looks like a really sinister culture that's developing around Australian sport.
Welcome tonight. There's over 530 people gathered here tonight here at Flemington to celebrate the 75th anniversary of St Bernard's College.
Well, I grew up in Broadmeadows and went to Theria College, which was the Christian Brothers College out there that only went to year 10. So when I decided I really wanted to take my study pretty seriously and knuckle down, I was lucky enough to come to St Bernard's, and it was a perfect environment for me in that regard because it gave me the opportunity to reach my academic potential, and I loved it. I felt right at home here. It was the first place I came to, coming from where I did at that time, where I wasn't judged or there weren't too many preconceptions about who I was because of what postcode I lived in. At the time, Broadmeadows had a reputation, and a lot of people made presumptions about you because of that. But coming here, I was just free to be myself, and I've been eternally grateful ever since.
So what parts of St Bernard's did you enjoy the most? Like, what was it that really attracted you?
I made lots of great friends here, and that made it so much easier, particularly coming in at year 11 and 12. So I was, these guys, many of them had been here since primary school, so they all knew each other. Yeah. And there was a bunch of us that came in for the last 2 years of school, and I found it really easy to settle in. I enjoyed playing football and cricket here as well. I guess that kind of helped because, as you know, the school at the time particularly had a obsession with footy and cricket. I'm so happy to see that the curriculum is now expanded to incorporate a whole range of other experiences. So if you do have an artistic bent, or you are interested in other theatre or whatever it is, you're encouraged to do so. That wasn't such the case when I was here, but that didn't really worry me at the time. And I made lots of friends, and I was able to also pursue those other passions. And I joined a band, formed a band with other guys at the school, and enjoyed the music side of things. And it was a good time to be at the school, and it gave me the opportunity to reach my potential and do my very best, which I don't think I would have got if I had stayed with the options that I had going to what was then known as Gagan College, which was the local feeder school for the schools that I was attending. It wasn't right for me, and this place was. From my background and coming here gave me a really grounded sense of what was important. And so you can always fall back on that when you're in a moment, or you're going through a phase where you think you can walk across a pond, about what's really important. And that's the key thing that I got out of coming here. And I'm still in contact with lots of the guys that I came through school with. That's really important, that you never forget where you come from, what your values are, what was important then should be still important now. So and I think that's what the school has always been really good. I don't think this school has ever been obsessed with providing huge numbers of people who get top marks and go on to be doctors and more. It's good if they do, but I think it's more important that people make a contribution in whatever field they do, whether it's at that high end of academia or being a tradesperson. That's just as important, as long as their values are good and they're having they're building meaningful lives in whatever they pursue, and having a rich and rewarding life that actually enhances other people's lives as well. That's all you want. That's a really important thing, and I think that's good. And that's why I've always, even though I was only here for 2 years, I've always felt a strong connection with being a St Bernard's boy.
Would you have any advice for any aspiring journalists or radio presenters?
It's hard. What I would say is that the industry is constantly changing. The technology changes, and with it, so do the demands on the broadcasters, the journalists, the content providers. But also, there are enormous opportunities in that. So you've got to be constantly prepared to be challenged and to embrace change. It's a difficult industry now. There's lots of people trying to get in there. The casualisation of the workforce makes it tough. I'm lucky to have a job, it's sort of like a full-time job, which is rare. There aren't too many of those these days. I see lots of people coming through, even at the ABC, who are on short-term contracts. But you can build a portfolio for yourself of experience and opportunity, and you can be a success at it. But what you have to do is also have an imagination and have ideas for content and being curious about the world. A lot of people come into the industry now wanting to be a star, wanting to be on radio and television, not knowing why they want to be there, not having anything to say, not having anything to explore, or not really interested in understanding. They just want to be behind, in front of a camera or behind a microphone. That's the wrong motivation. You've got to have the right sense of why you're doing it. You've got to have a sense of vocation about why you're doing it. You've got to have a passion for communicating with people. And I feel, to be really good at it, you've got to be a great listener. It's not all about hearing your own voice. If you get all that stuff aligned and you're prepared to do some hard yards like I did, endless midnight to dawns, getting up in the middle of the night and doing that stuff, and prepared to take a few steps back to go forward. I've done that many times. You can have a great career, and I'm very lucky to have done that. What about for you, Thomas? What do you want to do?
Hopefully get a career in the media industry, working in either radio or television. But who knows? Well, just a dream at the moment, so hopefully I can go to university and get the degree and get in.
Keep living the dream, you'll get there.
The Collegians of Old is produced by Hands On Productions and proudly sponsored by Tobin Brothers, celebrating lives.